Oh, crikey, you're tall. Sorry.
Oh,
Right. Okay.
oh, is that better?
All okay? Yeah. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Slept well.
Yeah. Cooler evening. It's episode 96, Saturday, 27th of June, 2020. Do you get nervous for these?
No, I just think, oh well, we just got to get on with it. So I try and be. How I approach it is how I approach my athletics in, like when I'm officiating. Obviously,
Making a noise in the background, Dawn. There's something clicking.
it's the tumble dryer. Do you want me to stop it?
Yeah, it's hopeless. Sorry about that, viewers. You know, Des Lynam wouldn't have his tumble dryer going in the background, would he? Yeah.
I have to work as well, you know. It's not just about doing one of these. Unlike you just sit in your office and look pretty all day. Come on. Like, you've lost the thread, haven't you?
No.
Oh, do I get nervous? No, because my approach is how I would approach an athletics meeting. I do a lot of research and I prepare myself for the meeting. I know what I've got to do if I'm given a job, because I know in advance the job I'm given. And so therefore I'm pretty sort of like relaxed, and whatever anyone throws at me, I know I've got to deal with. So it doesn't matter. And that's my approach with these.
Yeah. P.
Go on then, explain what that means.
Perfect preparation prevents something poor performance.
Yeah.
Apart from having your dish.
But I can't prepare for this because I don't know what you're going to ask me.
No, you don't
But
know.
as I say, my approach is relax, just deal with whatever anyone throws at you, because that's all you can do.
Yeah. Well, it's. I do feel the pressure. I mean, I scrapped the catchphrase contest because that was taking too much time. But the music contest, to try and get one that they've got a good chance of getting, but not very quickly, that's going to separate the main contenders, is very, very difficult. But Barry Royden got the Bee Gees Jive talking yesterday. Oh, crikey, I haven't prepared, Dawn. What did it link with? Remind me. Jive, Bee Gees.
A flock of bees or
Sting. Bees and Sting. There you go. And Barry he's on 13.5 to Tony Fulbrook's 13.0. So it's, nip and tuck at the moment.
Oh, it looks like it's going to be right down to the wire. But we're on the 100th edition. We're not doing one, are we?
No.
So it's only up to the 99. So you better get your fingers out, guys.
Yeah, it is today's music then. Got to get the link, the song title and the artist. Here we go. Hope you can hear it. Hear that?
I did, yes.
It's easier when it's not proper music at the start. Zoom doesn't mess it up.
I was trying not to breathe so you didn't get a noise in the background.
No. Well, there you go. So there you go. That's today's music. Now, I've been doing a little bit of research. I've thrown the net out because you remember it was mentioned about Sting from the Police running.
Oh, yes, I do. I remember that.
Wow. We've got some facts here from there's sad old gits like me knocking around the country and
oh God, yeah. You don't have to tell me. I know.
That you can rely on for this sort
and you know most of them.
Yeah. Sting, or Gordon Sumner, as he was, or is known otherwise, was in the Northumberland schools team in the 1967 English Schools Championships, where he raced in the 100 metres. There you go. Phil O'Dell, who we know is a coach at Bedford and Cambridge University, he saw Sting race a 3,000 metres on the Parliament Hill track. That has been confirmed by a guy called Dave Sweeney, who I believe lives in Australia now, that Sting ran 10 minutes 24 for his 3,000 metres on the 22nd of July 1982. There you go.
I was too busy building a career.
And on top of that, someone else believes that Sting was lined up for the lead role in a film about the ghost runner John Tarrant, which, remember, I mentioned the book. I've got the book.
Yeah, yeah, I
Well,
did.
it
Sorry,
never
I did.
it never came to fruition, as far as I'm aware. But after I'd read it, I spoke to somebody I know who writes scripts for the BBC, and he made some inquiries, and the film rights are owned. I mean, it would be a fantastic film, I think, but it's never been made. That's the Ghost Runner. But Sting was lined up as the main character, apparently, so he was in training for it. Yeah,
Right.
aren't you fascinated
Okay.
by all of that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Oh, wow, that's made my day.
yeah, I like those sort of things.
Yeah, I know you do. Yeah, that's right. Those little things make your life up.
So, loads of feedback yesterday. Andy Poppleton keeps having a good go at the music quiz.
I know, bless him.
He's determined that I will select "Sympathy for the Devil" by Rolling Stones, which it wasn't again, and it probably won't be for the next few episodes because that would be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Now, but he brought in the subject of an article about. Did you see it? About Mick Jagger.
Yes, I didn't have a chance to read it though. I'm very.
He used a technique to try and enlarge his penis, apparently, by using bee stings. We're talking about the Bee Gees, Sting, and everything else. That involved.
I don't think we should discuss something like that on here. Oh, that's terrible. I don't want to know about what Mick Jagger's been trying to do.
Well, no, it's Andy.
I'm glad I didn't click onto the link behind me.
I can't believe it. Apparently, it meant getting a bamboo stick, putting it over the top, and pouring a load of bees in. I mean, honestly, I think you wouldn't need to do that, would you, Mick Jagger?
He's completely mad.
Yeah.
He's got more money than brains.
No wonder he jumps about a bit on stage, I tell you. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. You like that one?
That's funny. Oh dear.
Yeah. Outrage, I think, is the theme from everybody. Scott Shermer, Bournemouth Beach. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. He also gets upset by people on social media, so I gave him a bit of advice. I said some people are a bit like you. Just don't use social media particularly. Don't, you know. So if you get off by,
hold on a second. There are people like
you delete everybody.
And I don't delete anyone. I just delete my account. To be quite honest with you, I mean, it depends on what you're interested in. I'm not interested in everybody. Everybody's interested in themselves, so they post all these things, and I'm not interested in it.
That's fine. I'm just explaining to Scott. Don't everybody uses social media in a different way. Don't
of course
take
they
it to heart. Don't take it to heart or anything. If somebody,
I'm not taking it to heart. I'm just saying that.
Not you, Scott.
Oh right, sorry, Scott.
I'm just saying, people act strangely on social media. In your
stop conducting me. You're waving your hand at me. Stop it.
Sorry. Don't worry about it. Some people are entertaining on social media. Some people aren't. Some people don't write too well. Some people have a few beers and then post something. Don't hold it against them.
No.
Graham Saker was outraged at Bournemouth and the mess that's made. And that was crazy. Matt Weller pointed out 33 tons of waste was collected down there on Thursday, which is absolutely, I don't know what to say about it. It's
I'm appalled because if people go to the beach, we've been in many countries on the beach, etc., with the children, and I never would dream of leaving my rubbish. There isn't any excuse for that. The bin people have been very, very good about collecting everything, even the amount of cardboard here. Because nobody's going out, we've had loads of bits and pieces being delivered, etc. And they've managed to take everything here. So there's not any excuse. And do they really think that someone is going to come along and clear up after them? I do not understand it. I'm sorry. I'm with everyone else that's appalled by it. And not only that, you're putting, I know the risk is lower outside, but if you're that close with people and you're in the sea and goodness knows what else you're doing, that would put your risk higher, surely.
Yeah, yeah. Duncan Black thinks we should charge people for use of the beach. Yeah, I mean, I don't really want to talk about it anymore. It was just horrendous. So
No, I mean, I'm ashamed to be British if that's how they're going to behave.
yeah, yeah. Barry Royden loves the Bee Gees, by the way. Not surprising, you got the question right, so that's good. Graham Saker also raced against Andy Ripley, the rugby player, in the international
Oh, right, yeah.
400-meter hurdles.
Mm.
He didn't say who won.
Oh, maybe Andy's race. Oh no, he's a little bit younger, isn't he?
What's that?
I thought Andy Popperton might know him.
He's a lot younger. Yeah. Hubert Bunce, he did some research on Sting and came up with the Parliament Hill thread that prompted me to find out more. So well done. Steve Fury, Sting is 68 years old. You believe it?
No, that's really good, isn't it?
Yeah. Hubert Bunce, when we're talking about names of Steve Fury being a US wrestler, he suggested Angie Crush would be a good female name for a wrestler. So there you go, Angie. You wanted to be less boring? There you go. There's this.
I've got this image of her in a wrestling hold now.
To be fair, Angie does look a bit like Wonder Woman, doesn't she? You know?
Oh yeah, it's sort of similar, but not not quite. No, I'm not sure. But perhaps Angie should answer that one. Maybe she'd take that one. I don't know.
Yeah. Grazia, she relates to the message, the life message I put across yesterday, which is to love your partner, but don't be dependent on them for anything. She does love her partner, but they don't even live together, so she's not. They're definitely not dependent on each other, and she relates to that one. But she's not sure about the thing about knowing your limitations and sticking to that, sticking to certain things. She's a give it a go person, and Hubert backed her up on that.
I do think sometimes you think, oh God, I can't really do that, and there's 20 reasons why I can't. But if you don't have a go, I don't believe that you really know that you can't do it. No. I do think that the more you do, the more people think you should do, and that's a difficult thing to deal with.
That's a good point. I like that. Yeah. Barry Royden raced or ran against Ronnie O'Sullivan about 10 years ago in the Shore Park 5 miles, and had a little chat with him. Walked back to his car. There was Ronnie going back to his Porsche and saying to Barry he wished he could have been an athlete. And Barry said, well, if you had been, you probably wouldn't be driving that. So there you go. Today's subject, more life lessons. Here we go. Are you ready? This is where you come into your, what do you call it? Natural habitat. Yeah. Declutter and simplify in life. What do you reckon? What can you have to say about that, Dawn?
Yeah, I suppose it is. It is probably true that you declutter and simplify. It is difficult. You've got all your memories and everything, and you want to keep them. So I'm not sure. I think it's how you feel about it. Let's put it that way.
I think it goes back to what you just said, though, in terms of the more you do, the more you get asked to do, and before you know it, it's out of control, and it's quite difficult then to rein it back in, isn't it? So it's good to reflect on those things.
Yeah, it is.
I've been thinking a lot about how to declutter and simplify, but it's quite difficult to drop things, especially if you enjoy doing them.
Well, yeah, and also people tend to, if there are people there that rely on you, you feel as if you're letting them down, and that makes it really difficult. And when you're talking about declutter and simplify, I mean, I think a lot of things that you do, you tend to do without any complications, but people add complications to it. It's an unknown. You're dealing with something that you don't necessarily know what you're going to deal with, and that's the problem sometimes. But you're right. I think the more you do, the more people expect you to do, and that's the difficulty, because you have. I mean, you're always saying to me, "I never say no," and I do try and help everybody I possibly can, and I don't like saying no and letting people down. But you're exactly the same.
Mm. What about being passionate about something?
Oh my God.
To know what the viewers are passionate about. They've got, I mean, a lot of them are run.
Yeah, I mean,
Must be something else we haven't mentioned over the last 95 episodes. Anyone got any passions they'd like to reveal? Because
that is a good subject. I mean, it is, you know, you're passionate about something. I mean, even if you're not passionate at something, you can grow passionate about it, can't you? I mean, look at me. I mean, I just did a few races when I was at school, etc. Didn't think about athletics. Got to know you, and the next thing I know, I'm deeply involved in an athletics club. So, I mean, but that is because, one, I enjoy it, and two, you go and have, you know, as much, you gain as much knowledge as you possibly can to help yourself.
Yeah. Next one then. Here we go. How are you feeling today?
Okay. Bit wary.
Well, David Coulthard, I was listening to, he brought this one up, and I think I read it somewhere as well, and it's a good point. Don't tell everyone all of your problems.
I don't.
No, it's a difficult one, isn't it? Because when somebody says, "How are you?" I mean, I can remember feeling pretty ropey and unwell, and they really don't want to know about that when, you know, when I've been out and about. How are you, Mark? Oh, well, actually, I've got a bit of a sore throat, cough, bunged up.
Yeah.
They don't want to know all that, do they? I've had a bad week. You know, it's a difficult one, isn't it?
Oh, I totally agree with you. I mean, normally I say I'm fine, but I mean, for instance, if you're not fine and you drop dead the next day, people are going to think, "Oh God, she told me she was all right."
Yeah.
I think there's a halfway house. I mean, I know someone who will tell you every single thing that's wrong with her, and half an hour later, you're thinking, "Oh, that was good. She's got that all off her chest, etc." And then she's moved on to the next one, etc., and told them all about it. Some people have to tell you what's wrong with them, and other people don't. So, I think listening is sort of like sometimes a need in life, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I think you got it. I don't think it's a bad thing. I think you just got to pick the right people to tell it to, because quite a few wouldn't be bothered. So,
I know. I think I never go away and think, oh God, that I've had half an hour of, you know, her problems, etc., and then think, oh God, I can't stand, and then bitch behind her back. I think, oh well, that's half an hour of my time that may have helped her in some way. I don't know.
I mean, it did say don't tell everyone. It didn't say don't tell anyone. So
No, I mean that's my point. I mean, if you're not feeling great and you're feeling really bad, get help. But it's good to tell someone, especially if you're living alone. I mean, that's very difficult, isn't it? Because sometimes you need someone sort of like thinking, oh, I'll just give someone a ring or something like that. Make sure they're all right.
good segue, because the final one is surround yourself with supportive people.
I totally agree with that. I mean, God, I think about it, and I don't think I mean, like my mum and my sister. I mean, if I didn't have them for support and helping me, and sometimes when you're feeling really down. Why are you conducting me today? What is your problem?
Who else? Who else?
Well, you don't help much. You just add to the burden.
Oh, right.
Yes, I mean, I must admit, you're very good at like giving me a different point of view. I'll be fair to you now. In the sense that sometimes women don't necessarily see the man's point of view, and you're very good at that, just pointing out different things.
That's an underhanded compliment there.
It's not. No, it's not. It is a compliment, because I mean, that helps me change and have a different approach. It's not just, you know, them being difficult.
There you go. There you go, folks. Finish on a positive. That's all we like to do. All right. Okay, Dawn, thank you very much. Cheerio.
Bye, Mark. See you later.